second episode of Tiny Nest. I'm Kiva.
And I'm Jake. This series will follow our tiny house project from start to finish.
This episode is about our trailer.
So we actually already have our trailer, and that's why there hasn't been an episode in a while, is that we've been really busy acquiring it. We chose to go with a company out of Portland, Oregon called Iron Eagle because of the special features that they can build into their trailers for tiny houses. And I've actually got a little video here to show them to you. So the trailer has been made as wide as it can be without exceeding regular vehicle size restrictions, and that's achieved by these flanges that run along the sides of the trailer. They're made from fairly thin steel, and the intention is that once you've built your wooden framing on top of the trailer, you can drill right through the wood, then right through these flanges, and pass bolts through to secure your structure to the trailer frame. This is probably the coolest feature that was added. This 2-inch flashing is welded right onto the outside of the fenders, and it's meant to meet up with the house's sheathing and siding. Normally you'd have to use silicone or some method of sealing along the top of the fenders to prevent water from running down your siding, pooling on top of the fenders, and then running in underneath and getting inside the house. So this feature solves that problem right from the get-go. You can see it's double axle at 10,000 pound total weight rating, and it has 7,500 pound leveling jacks on all 4 corners. The main area of the deck is sunken down 5 inches, and the intention with this is that you can lay your floor joists right into this space and bolt them through these pre-drilled holes the same way you do with the flanges and the wall framing. So that secures the floor joists inside this space, and then you lay your insulation in there and fill in that space until it's flush with the flanges, and then you've got a nice even surface to lay the subfloor down. And this way you don't have to build the floor joists on top of the deck and end up losing some total height inside the finished house.
Because we live in Canada, we had to import the trailer from the United States. But we decided that that would be better than having someone locally custom make a trailer for us who isn't familiar with tiny houses, or else get a trailer and modify it ourselves. So to begin the importation process, we had to make a bunch of phone calls to a few different places. We called both Canada and US Customs, the RIV, which is the Register of Imported Vehicles, Washington State Licensing, as well as local insurance places and ICBC.
It took a lot of calls to line up all the information that we needed for a smooth importation process. But once we had that all sorted out and we felt ready, the next step was to plan our trip. And we don't actually have a vehicle that can tow the trailer. So a couple friends of ours were generous enough to lend us their 4Runner. So big shout out to Lee and Kara. Thanks so much for lending us your vehicle. So before actually leaving on the trip, we picked up a binder of insurance from our local insurance broker. And that's insurance that covers a vehicle, in this case a trailer, that has like a temporary permit on it. And at the same time we also picked up a temporary permit for BC for once we were back across on our return trip. And the binder of insurance cost $58.
En route, we also picked up a Washington State permit, which cost $30. And then once we had the trailer on our way back, at the border we paid GST, which was $196, and we also acquired an RIV Form 1. We also, because we live on an island, had to take a ferry home, which cost $208 due to the length of the trailer.
And so once we had initially deposited the trailer on our property, we continued the importation process, which involved paying an RIV fee, which we did online, which was $205. Then to finish the importation process, we did another trip with the trailer from the property to a Canadian Tire to get it inspected. And so we needed a new permit to get from A to B property to Canadian Tire. So that permit was, I think, about $18. During the Canadian Tire inspection, where they actually fill out that Form 1 that we acquired at the border, we also had to pay tire tax because the tires weren't manufactured in Canada. That was $22. Once that whole inspection was done, we were able to register the trailer. So the registration fee was about $18, and then we had to pay PST during that process. So PST was just under $300. That process then voided our temporary trip permit for that day, and we needed a new permit to get back to the property. So that permit was $12 or $18. And then I also picked up a storage insurance policy for $30 for a whole year that covers against theft and vandalism.
So we figured that the total cost, including the trailer, for all the expenses as well as things like gas and accommodation, was around $6,000.
So despite all these extra costs and all the processes and the trip that we took, we are happy with what we have now. So we have a very specialized trailer, exactly what we want for our project, and we're looking forward to moving ahead with the next phase. So keep an eye out for upcoming videos on the rest of our project.